One thing I've done here now is actually plug back in the monitor, and you can, with the monitor out of the case, you can plug your power cable and your display cable back into the monitor. And I actually have my computer connected to it, and I've opened Illustrator and made a huge canvas. And if you want to see sort of get some light, it's the way to be able to power your laptop, and you can see sort of what's going on, especially if you want to see sort of proof that if you can see the gray lines, you should still be able to see the gray lines, because we haven't yet fixed it. And this way, when you go through the exercise of fixing it, you'll know when the gray lines are gone. Leaving it plugged in, could have some adverse effects. Ideally, you're not messing with the electronics. You have it on a flat surface. There's always a risk. I mean, the fact that you're taking apart this entire monitor means you're adventurous and you're sick of trying to return them all the time. So plugging it in is a good way to be able to see the power. You'll be able to see everything I'll show you in a second. But again, use your own risk and caution. So we've got it plugged into Illustrator, and what I recommend now, I have a smaller surface. If you have a great big table, that's awesome because you can open things more. But basically, I'm just going to use a little FedEx box I have here as a backdrop, because what I'm going to be doing is opening. Disconnecting the monitor. 1 second. Okay. I'm going to be opening this monitor, and you'll see in a second, I want to be able to lean this at least against something, so that the glass can also lean. So you'll see here, what I'm about to do is open this glass panel. So this glass panel, just to give you a clear idea, so these are the graphics, the actual digital graphics that are being displayed on this glass panel. And this is the light that's coming through the glass panel to give you your brightened display. We'll take apart this frame in a second, but it's these sheets under here. This is a diffuser that is pressing up against this glass too much because of a bad design, and it's giving you those gray lines or gray horizontal lines or fingerprints, if you will. Your goal is to be very careful of this panel because it's glass. To switch the order of these diffuser panels, make sure there's no dust on the display afterward, reassemble it and call it a day. So to do this, we're going to actually put this back down for a second, because there's no reason not to leave it there. We don't need to have it up. This is glass, is the most sensitive part. This black frame, move the camera a little bit here. This black frame going around is also held in by snap fits, and you can actually use your fingernail, but you're going to go around now and undo all these snap fits for this black frame that's holding in this glass panel. So as you go around this black frame, you'll start to feel this thing loosen up. And you're undoing this black frame because in order to access the diffuser panels below, you've got to undo this black frame. So I'm going to reach way over here. I'm going to block the camera view for a second as we disassemble this side. Sorry for blocking that view, but what you'll see now is that this black frame I've done correctly, and you've gotten all these snap fits up, will also itself lift up. And you can actually reach in with your gloved fingers, and you will find one sheet, two sheets, and depending on how your monitor was assembled, there's a very heavy black plastic sheet that is seemingly like a lenticular print, or like a magnifying glass. It's designed likely to magnify the light or maybe polarization. Lenses aren't my specialty, but what I know is this panel is what is, if it's on top, it's what's coming into contact with your screen and causing the lines. There's another piece of paper, plastic, that's just a diffuser. And this is what needs to be on top. And if this is in contact with your screen, you won't get lines. This monitor, when I first received it, had the heavy plastic on top and was getting lines. So this is the second time I've opened this monitor. I'm actually just doing this to do a full disassembly and reassembly video. But I had to move this plastic sheet, the clear plastic sheet, to the bottom, and there are notches. So in the assembly process, you actually can't turn this around. But I'm betting at Dell, this Dell assembly, the workers are potentially assembling this in the wrong order, or if it's meant to be on top, it's a bad design because there's lots of screens being returned. So your goal, you can take these out if you need to, but is to get the thinner diffused plastic sheet on top and the magnifying sheet on the bottom. And there may be an adverse effect. I have not seen any, and certainly you get no gray lines. Once you put those together, you can put them back into the case. They need to be rest in the there's a notch on either side of the case, one over there that I'm not going to reach across yet. Make sure they're both in the notches. Take a good look at this screen, the two sandwiches. Make sure you don't see any dust or any particulates. The last time I assembled this closed, I missed a piece of dust, and right in the center of my monitor was a dot from the dust that I left in there. So I'm going to do another quick check. We're going to put these, make sure they're in the right order, then basically close this frame, snap it closed again on all four sides, check for dust one more time, bring the frame down, and then do a reassembly.